fantasy football general manager. I'm like, no, I want to make a starting five for Team USA. Like that's what I really enjoy. And you see this collection of talent together in Vegas over the weekend for the first time. And like, I knew, and I was following the select camps, and then you like actually see them on the court and you see the 12 names. And I know this will sound sacrilegious. I know it sounds ridiculous. But this is the most talented Team USA roster we've ever had. It is top to bottom more talented than the Dream Team. Now, the Dream Team is more impactful. The Dream Team will win by a higher margin of victory. It wasn't fair, right? It was the first time NBA players were allowed to play. Charles Barkley's famous line about Angola. I don't know a lot about Angola, but Angola's in trouble. Like, the rest of the world has caught up to USA basketball. Canada's got a good team. France has a good team. Obviously, the best players, Luka and Joker. It's spread out around the country, Giannis, or around the world. So obviously, the rest of the world has caught up in a macro sense. But in terms of 12 people on a team together, this team, I agree with Steve Kerr, it's got 12 Hall of Famers. And you just look at past Team USA rosters, it's not the same top to bottom level of dominance. The 2020 team won gold. Team USA has won gold 4 years in a row. They only have one loss in those 4 gold medal runs, and it was the last Olympics, 2020, to France. And then they avenged it in a close gold medal game. But that 2020 team, Jeremy Grant was on the team. JaVale McGee was on the team. Trivia question. Does anyone know who Keldon Johnson was or is? He's still with us. He's got a gold medal from 2020. No disrespect to Keldon Johnson. He's not exactly Devin Booker or Tyrese Halliburton, who might be the 12th man on this team. 2016, Harrison Barnes and DeAndre Jordan. Nice players, served a role, but not all-time guys, not Hall of Famers. The 2008 team, the Redeem team, probably the most famous Team USA team since the Dream Team. That team, Michael Redd, Tayshaun Prince. I just don't see how this team loses, and they've got every motivation to be locked in and be dominant. We can start with LeBron. It's the last title he's ever going to win, and I don't say that disparagingly. He turns 40 in December. The Lakers struck out in free agency. They lost in 5 to the Nuggets. They've needed the play-in series to get into the playoffs the last couple of years. The Lakers are not close to being a title team in the Western Conference. Kevin Durant, one of the best scorers in Team USA history. Steph Curry, he somehow has never won an Olympic gold medal. He's never played in the Olympics. So you got these guys who teamed up together, LeBron and Steph, recruiting everybody. They've wanted to play together. Steph has the motivation of never winning a gold medal. And then if you've watched, you've sometimes seen Team USA be a little abused. International play could be very physical. They've been out-rebounded in games. Joel Embiid is on Team USA. And France is upset about it. They thought that Joel Embiid was going to play for him, so maybe that adds like a little bit of a subplot to those games, which is exciting. And Paris is the host country, so Joel Embiid getting booed during the Olympics will add a nice little dimension to it. But I don't really see a team with Anthony Davis, Bam Adebayo, and Joel Embiid getting dominated on the glass or being outscored in the paint. So the fact that Embiid could play for Team USA, I think, tips the scales and takes the biggest weakness of rebounding and size and now makes it a definitive strength. Then you've got 2 guys in Tatum and Anthony Edwards who are in their absolute prime, having a moment, right? Tatum just signs the huge contract, wins a finals. He's arrived. Anthony Edwards was arguably the breakout star of last NBA's season, one of the most exciting players in the league to watch, and I love his arrogance where he's like, I'm the guy. They got to all work and play around me. No, you're 22 years old. You're going to be coming off the bench, but I do think that you've got a combination of young and old. People would say this team's too old. They maybe have too many guys that are injury prone. Okay, they're not all going to suffer injuries, Kawhi, KD's got the calf issue, LeBron, Steph, Anthony Davis, Embiid. These guys have an injury history for sure, but all 6 of those guys aren't going to be injured. And it's like, oh, okay, this team's it needs a little speed. You have Tyrese Halliburton. Oh, it needs a little shooting. If somehow Kevin Durant and Steph Curry struggle shooting, you have Devin Booker. So, there's a guy on France or Argentina or Greece that is just, getting buckets like Rudy Fernandez or Marco Bellinelli or one of these guys that we've seen give the U.S. trouble on the perimeter in the past. Well, Drew Holiday and Kawhi Leonard are there. So, top to bottom, 1 through 12, it's the deepest Team USA roster I've ever seen. Again, they will not have the margin of victory of the Dream Team. They will obviously not have the impact of the Dream Team. The face of the league is not in their prime on this team like it obviously was with Michael Jordan back in 92. But the old heads on this team, Durant, LeBron, and Steph, are all still awesome. Motivation is high. International experience is high. I can't see a scenario where this team loses a game. And I can't wait to watch. Now, what Team USA looks like for 2028? That's a question. Because this was the first NBA playoffs that we ever saw where Steph, KD, and LeBron didn't make it to the second round in 20 years. It had been 20 consecutive NBA playoffs where at least one of those guys was in the second round of the playoffs. After this Olympics, when presumably Steph, KD, and LeBron are no longer competing internationally, you got Halliburton, you got Tatum, you got Booker, you got Bam, you got Edwards. Those are the only 5 guys on this team that are in their 20s. So it's an old team. The next iteration, and the one after that, of Team USA, I have no idea what that'll look like. And maybe going into those Olympics, the gold medal or competitive games or a loss or two, maybe that'll be in doubt into the future. But I don't see any scenario where this particular version of Team USA struggles in the Olympics at all. But coming up next, Brandon Ayuk. He's flirting with other teams on social media again. It makes me ask the question about welcome into the herd. I am not Colin Cowherd. I am Danny Parkins filling in for Colin, which let's take a moment to celebrate that. Thank you. And I'm here with Ashley Brewer.
Hey, I am not Jason McIntyre, but I am Ashley Brewer. It's great to be here with you, Danny.
This is so exciting.
I know.
Can you believe they're letting us take this plane for a little test flight here?
I don't know who pulled these strings, but I am grateful. You're the radio guy. I'm the TV girl. Today, we're going to make something special together.
Seeing me, you think everyone knows that I'm the radio person?
No.
Thank you so much for
pointing that
out.
out. It's going to be a blast.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Great to work with you. Looking forward to it. And I don't think it was in the fine print or anything like that. Maybe it's cliche, but the Cowboys are always in the news.
Has to be.
So I think I got to do a little bit of Cowboys here. We got a lot to do. Rachel Nichols will join us. Joe Varden's going to join us. Eric Mangini's going to join the show. But yes, the boot is off for Dak Prescott. CeeDee Lamb is beefing with Cole Beasley over something. I don't know. But I just wanted to take an opportunity to say I'm not buying it. I'm not buying the reporting on this Dak Prescott story. I'm not buying the speculation on this Dak Prescott story. It doesn't make a whole heck of a lot of sense, and there would be no precedent in league history for the Cowboys to move on from Dak Prescott. So we'll settle in there with, if Dak Prescott isn't a Cowboy beyond this year, it is going to be because Dak Prescott doesn't want to be a Cowboy beyond this year. And I think it is just that simple. I know the rumor is, oh, wow, the Cowboys want to make it a prove-it year for Dak Prescott because 3 straight years of 12 wins. They're the only team to ever win 12 games, 3 straight years without even making it to a conference championship game. The playoff shortcomings are obviously well documented, and that game last year against Green Bay, that's a terrible loss for a team that was as dominant as Dallas was in the regular season. But make no mistake about it, they were dominant in the regular season. And the struggles of playoff performances for Dak Prescott, Mike McCarthy, the Cowboys, it is still a small sample size, especially when you're talking about a quarterback. I think it is worth reminding people and remembering just how dominant Dak Prescott was last year. This is a guy who was second for the MVP. They led the league in scoring second in completion percentage, third in yards. He led the league in passing touchdowns. So I was not the biggest Dak guy at the beginning of his career. I thought he was a product of Des Bryant and a great offensive line. And he was 23 touchdowns and 6 interceptions.